I'm Brownfield commodity market reporter John Perkins with the closing market minute for Thursday, July 31st. Soybeans closed lower, seeing another round of pressure from the generally favorable crop weather in much of the Midwest and Plains as we start to get in those key development months of both August and September. Lots to keep an eye on here over the next several weeks, but at least for now, the trade does seem to be expecting a very large crop this year with the potential for a record high average yield. We'll see how that develops. There was also spillover pressure from soybean and crude oils. Corn did close mixed. Nearby contracts were up. Deferred months were down on spread trade based on demand expectations. Corn for ethanol use continues to be pretty good at this point. Old crop export sales were down on the week and below average, but it was a solid week for new crop sales, and we did see a few new crop U.S. corn export sales announced ahead of Thursday's open. And wheat finished mixed, continuing to watch winter wheat harvest activity here in the States and abroad, along with spring wheat development conditions in the northern U.S. plains and the Canadian prairies. Nigeria bought 100,000 tons of U.S. hard red winter ahead of the open, and the weekly export sales numbers were decent. Live and feeder cattle were sharply lower on fund liquidation, waiting for widespread direct cash cattle business to get underway. I've only seen some light trade this week, mainly at $2.35 on the live basis in Kansas. That's $2 higher than last week's weighted average, but most of the major feeding areas have remained quiet. There are also some questions about the potential impact on domestic beef demand if the United States follows through with 50% tariffs on beef imports from Brazil. And hogs ended the day modestly higher. The fundamentals during the session were not friendly, but there was some technical support, and export sales were up on the week, even if China continues to be absent from the market. With the closing market minute for Thursday, July 31st, I'm Brownfield commodity market reporter John Perkins.